If you're a funeral celebrant or thinking of becoming one, this video is for you. Today we're talking about how to make funeral services deeply personal by going the extra mile with poems and readings. Funeral services often include two readings, one at the start, setting the tone and the mood, and another later after the reflection music, but before the committal. These poems aren't just fillers, they're powerful tools to honour someone's life and to provide comfort for grieving families. But here's the thing, families often feel overwhelmed when choosing poems, and that's because there are so many options out there, and this is where we come in as professional celebrants. The best funeral celebrants don't just hand over or email a long list of popular readings and hope for the best. We support families in the decision-making process. I always recommend to funeral celebrants that I train that they have two folders for their collection of funeral poems. One with poems using female pronouns and the other with male pronouns. Now, why is that? Well, it's because presenting a folder with male pronouns to a family mourning a beloved mum, grandma or sister can feel very impersonal and even jarring. So taking that little bit of extra time and sensitivity and care will make all the difference. When putting together your collection of poems, it's important to offer choice and variety, but again, not too many that it feels completely overwhelming. About 10 to 15 poems, I think, is a good number. But what do you think? The first section of your folder should feature the most popular choices, the ones that resonate in almost everyone in your community. But don't stop there. Add unique options at the back. Things like classical or very modern poems, poems that appeal to specific identities or passions, like being a parent, a gardener, a football fan, or even a devoted dog lover. For example, here in Sheffield, which is near the Peak District, we have a lot of people who are interested in walking and hiking. And so in my collection, it includes the poem Roads Go Ever On by J.R.R. Tolkien. However, many poems are not absolutely perfect, so I adapt them. Listen to this version of Roads Go Ever On that I've adapted and changed specifically for people who are interested in hiking and walking. See if you can work out where I've made the changes. Roads go ever, ever on, over road and under tree, by caves where never sun has shone, by streams that never find the sea, over snow by winter sown, and through the merry flowers of June, over grass and over stone, and under mountains in the moon. Roads go ever, ever on, under cloud and under star. Yet feet that wandering have gone turn at last to home afar. Eyes that tire and boots have seen, and rain-soaked clothes and legs of stone, look at last on meadows green, and trees and hills they long have known. Roads go ever on and on, out from the door where it began. Now far ahead the road has gone. Let others follow it who can. Let them a journey new begin, but all at last with weary feet will turn towards the lighted inn, my evening rest and sleep to meet. So, did you spot the differences? Did you spot where I made a very, very slight change to make it more appropriate? Instead of eyes that fire and sword of seen, instead I adapted it to eyes that tire and boots have seen. Sometimes you'll find a poem that is almost perfect, but not quite. So don't be afraid to tweak it. Changing a single word or a stanza can make it a better fit for the person that you're honouring. Why not also look at the poem Success by Bessie Anderson Stanley? This is a wonderful poem and it can be adapted very easily to perfectly match the talents and the passions of any deceased. Let me know in the comments of any poems that you're aware of that you have changed or are easily changed, and we'll share the ideas amongst the Celebrant community. Finally, if you have the time, ending the service with a short, meaningful literary extract can be incredibly powerful. One of my favourites is from Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. It's especially poignant for someone who was a craftsman, a gardener, or a DIY enthusiast. Everyone must leave someone behind when he dies, my grandfather said. A child or a book, or a painting, or a house, or a wool built, or a pair of shoes made, or a garden planted. Something that your hand touched some way so your soul has somewhere to go when you die. And when people look at that tree or that flower you planted, you're there. It doesn't matter what you do, he said, so long as you change something from the way it was before you touched it into something that's like you after you've taken your hands away. Isn't that beautiful? With a slight tweak and a slight there, hopefully you can see how you can make it a really personal way to end a funeral service. Going the extra mile with poems and readings isn't about offering families more options. It's about creating a truly personal service that celebrates a life well lived. Now, if you're a funeral celebrant or thinking of becoming a funeral celebrant, then please make sure that you like this video and you subscribe for more tips like these. And if you'd like to learn more about becoming a celebrant, check out the links and the resources in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.